Greetings, ghoul cats. It is I, JazzChicken. I've been summoned here today to read you some erotic fan fiction that a computer generated. I'm sorry, it just baffles me that JazzChicken would make a sacrifice, do the pentagram and everything, summon me here, outside of Halloween, just to read this to you, because it's horror-themed. It goes in the contract that we agreed. Alright, fine. Well, welcome back to Miracle Warriors. What is our first story? A fan fiction about Gozer, the Gazarian, and Frankenstein. Okay. It came from the lightning, Gozer and the monster. The castle loomed above the stormy cliffs, lightning crackling across the sky like Mother Nature has... why do I have to read? Yes, alright, I suppose if I get it done, then I get to go home, don't I? Well, enjoy. I know you guys will love it, you perverts. Alright, the castle loomed above the stormy cliffs, lightning crackling across the sky like Mother Nature herself was in the mood for something naughty. Inside Frankenstein's monster. What, as in literally inside him? Like, whereabouts inside are we talking? Inside inside comma. Would help if I see the commas. Inside, Frankenstein's monster shuffled restlessly through the dusty halls. See, that makes more sense. Groaning in that low, guttural way that was half hunger, half longing. He moaned, gazing out at the storm. Me, lonely. Then, with a thunderclap so powerful it rattled the gargoyles off the roof, a rift in reality split open in the middle of the lab. Out of the crackling energy stepped Gozer the Gazarian, shimmering, glistening, and wearing that skin-tight, interdimensional outfit that looked like it had been woven out of pure innuendo. Are you a god? Gozer purred. What, like a cat? Their voice, like velvet, dipped in static electricity. The monster blinked, his bolts sparking ever so slightly. Me, not sure. But me, single? Gozer's eyes glowed. Then you are exactly what I seek. A creature of pure power, stitched together with passion and lightning. Delicious. The monster groaned louder, his chest heaving like a fog machine at a Halloween rave. You shiny, me like shiny. Gozer slinked closer, every step echoing with cosmic temptation. I crossed dimensions for destruction, but now I hunger for construction. Okay, I can see why you guys like this. The monster's knees wobbled, bolts sizzling with electricity. Me electrified already. Lightning struck the tower, sending blue-white sparks cascading through the lab. Every arc seemed to caress the monster's frame, making him twitch and groan in ways no mad scientist had ever intended. Oh, yes, Gozer whispered, raising their arms as if conducting a symphony of thunder. Show me your voltage! The monster grunted, his hands outstretched, trembling. You give me life again. The storm roared, test tubes shattered. A skeleton in the corner politely excused itself. The tension in the air was thick, thicker than ectoplasm in a sauna. Gozer leaned close, their glowing eyes inches from the monster's stitched face. Together we shall cross streams of unimaginable power. The monster's jaw quivered, his bolts glowing like neon nightclub lights. Yes, cross streams. What are they gonna do? They're gonna piss on each other. And then, in a sudden, terrifyingly sensual surge, the lab exploded with energy. Sparks flew, chains rattled. Somewhere in the distance, the villagers dropped their torches and pitchforks, whispering, "What in the hell is going on up there?" When the storm finally died down, Gozer stood over the monster, both of them smoldering like a pair of haunted cigars. "Delicious," Gozer hissed. "You may not be a god, but tonight you are worshipped." Damn. The monster, flat on the slab, but grinning with unholy satisfaction, groaned. Fire bad, but this good. And outside, the thunder rumbled approvingly, like a cosmic slow clap for horror's steamiest new couple. Okay, alright, fine. I'll let you off, Jazz. That was kind of funny. Alright, what else? What else have you got me? Oh, I see. So this is the next one, huh? Blood and acid. Can you tell who we're reading about? The castle was silent, save for the occasional drip of water echoing through its ancient halls. Dracula lounged in his coffin, cape draped sensually over one shoulder, practicing his smolder in the mirror. Ah, immortality is so lonely. He sighed, licking his fangs in a way that was definitely unnecessary. What I wouldn't give for a creature as dark and as dangerous as me. As if summoned by his brooding, the air rippled. From the shadows emerged something tall, glistening and dripping in ways that made the castle walls blush. The xenomorph. Dracula sat upright, eyes widening. By the bats of Transylvania, you are magnificent. The xenomorph hissed. Its second mouth sliding out with a hello. That was somehow both terrifying and suggestive. Acid saliva dripped to the floor, sizzling a heart shape into the stone. Oh, you flirt. Dracula gasped, clutching his chest. You speak the universal language of passion and acid. The xenomorph crept closer, tail slithering behind it like a serpentine invitation. Dracula's cape fluttered dramatically, as though caught in a breeze that did not exist. You are no mere mortal, Dracula purred. You are sleek, you are powerful, and most importantly, you are shiny. The xenomorph hissed louder, pressing its smooth jet black dome within inches of Dracula's pale face. mean, what kind of doom are we talking about? Ah, Dracula moaned theatrically. Oh! His fangs glinting. At last! A skull I cannot see my reflection in. Truly a challenge. The xenomorph's claws traced lightly across Dracula's coffin, leaving sizzling scratches. Dracula gasped. Oh, careful, darling. You ruined the mahogany. But then again, perhaps I like it rough. Lightning flashed through the castle windows, illuminating the two silhouettes, one cloaked, one spiny, both radiating a strange, sultry tension that would have made Van Helsing drop his cross in disbelief. The xenomorph leaned in, drool hissing against Dracula's cape. Dracula tilted his head, baring his neck. "Drink if you dare," he whispered. "Oh, drink if you dare. But beware, for I may bite back." The xenomorph's second mouth clicked eagerly, more inches from those pale, tempting veins. And then, because horror is nothing without timing, a bat flew into the room, took one look at the scene, and immediately turned around like, "Nope, not my circus." Dracula laughed darkly. "Let them judge. We are creatures of the night, and tonight we feast on each other's mysteries." The xenomorph shrieked in agreement. Its echo bouncing through the castle like the world's most terrifying love song. And somewhere far away, a group of terrified villagers heard the noises and whispered, "I think Dracula finally found a date, and it sounds complicated." Are these the same peasants that heard what Frankenstein's been up to? Okay, well I liked how the xenomorph said hello. Hello! Alright, what's next? We've got more, we do have more, okay, interesting. The Devil's Dice. Deep in the underworld casino, the dice were hot, the air was thick with brimstone, and every slot machine moaned like a sinner in need of repentance. Oogie Boogie, sack full of bugs and swagger, slammed his fuzzy dice on the table. "Come on, baby, Daddy needs a new soul," he bellowed, worms wiggling like backup dancers under his burlap skin. From the smoky pit at the center of the casino, a voice rumbled, low, velvety, sinful. "You roll with fire, little sack." The flames parted, and there he was, Satan himself, horns polished, cape flowing like liquid night, and a smile so wicked it could curdle holy water. Oogie's stitches trembled. Well, sugar horns. Well, sugar horns. Look who crawled out of the eternal barbecue just to flirt with little old me. Satan leaned on the dice table, claws tapping in rhythm. "You've got nerve, and I like that in a sack. But do you have heat?" I like that Satan is turned on by a bag with a face. Oogie's bugs wriggled excitedly. "Oh, honey, I'm in heat. You ever been filled with writhing creepy crawlies? It's a whole body experience." Satan chuckled, a sound like molten chocolate dripping down obsidian. "I prefer my lovers spicy and slightly dangerous." Oogie shook his dice, hips rolling in a way no burlap sack should. "Then let's make it interesting. If I win, I get your soul." Satan arched a perfect eyebrow. And if I win... Oogie leaned close, his bugs whispering like a naughty chorus line. Then, sugar, you get all my stuffing. That sounds gross. Lightning struck. The dice rolled. The casino hushed. The dice clattered across the table, landing in a pair of sixes so seductive that even a nearby demon blushed. Oogie gasped, his seams quivering. Snake eyes? Ooh, you bad, bad boy. 2 sixes. A pair of sixes is not snake eyes. It's a pair of ones. A pair of ones is snake eyes. What snake has 12 eyes? What? Snake eyes. This AI is drunk. Satan licked his lips, the temperature in the room rising hotter than a preacher's nightmare. Looks like I win. I mean, Oogie Boogie didn't even get a go. He didn't get a turn. Oogie fanned himself with a stray playing card. Well, don't leave me hanging, hot stuff. You gonna claim your prize, or just smolder at me all night? Satan leaned in, horns glinting, tail curling like a question mark made of temptation. I always collect what's owed, personally. The casino erupted in flames and applause as the King of Darkness and the Sack of Sin leaned into the most horrifyingly sultry power play the underworld had ever witnessed. And somewhere, a passing soul muttered, "Yep, I'm definitely in hell." That one was more disgusting than anything. Oh, okay, interesting. Camp Crystal Lake After Dark. Well, we already know what one character is. The moon hung low after Camp Crystal Lake, rippling off the water like a silver spotlight, waiting for something naughty to happen. Jason Voorhees stood at the dock, machete glinting, hockey mask fogging with his own heavy breathing. He wasn't expecting company. Then the air grew colder, the crickets went quiet. A skeletal finger tapped him on the shoulder. "Boo," whispered the Grim Reaper. Yep, that's the voice I've given him. Stepping out of the mist with a scythe so shiny it could have been polished with sin itself. Jason tilted his head. Thunk. The Reaper chuckled, bone teeth clicking like castanets. You don't talk much, do you? That's fine. I like the strong, silent type. Keeps me dying for more." Jason adjusted his mask, chest heaving. "Oh, don't be shy," Death cooed, swirling his cloak dramatically. "I've seen it all, darling. You're a killer on the outside, but on the inside, you're just a big machete-wielding teddy bear, aren't you?" Why is the Grim Reaper like this? Jason grunted. It could have meant yes, or murder, but the way he shifted on his boots suggested bashful. Reaper leaned in close, bony hand gliding down the haft of his scythe. Don't you mean the shaft of his scythe? You know what they say, nothing sexier than inevitability. Lightning flashed. Jason's machete gleamed. His shoulders shivered. Not from fear, but from the sudden heat that wasn't coming from the campfire. The Reaper spun his scythe like a pole dancer at the world's darkest club. Tell me, big boy, do you want to play till death do us part? Jason's head tilted again. Then slowly, deliberately, he dropped the machete into the dirt with a heavy thunk. The Reaper gasped theatrically, pressing a skeletal hand to his non-existent chest.
"Oh my, you're surrendering to me? How delicious!"
The mist swirled tighter around them, like nature itself wanted to watch. The lake lapped at the dock in rhythmic, suggestive waves. Even the owls seemed to hoot approvingly. Ooh. The Reaper wrapped his cloak around Jason's hulking shoulders.
Cozy. Don't worry, darling, I'll never ghost you.
Jason let out a low rumbling grunt that sounded suspiciously like a purr. The scythe glimmered, the machete steamed, somehow, and under the jealous gaze of the full moon, Camp Crystal Lake witnessed the unholy union of death and slaughter, steamy, spooky, and oh so wrong. And somewhere in the forest, Camper whispered, I think Jason just found love, before being immediately shushed by a raccoon that had seen things. The raccoon had seen things. Sure. Oh, okay, what we got on this one? Ah, I see. Okay. So, this one is apparently perfect. Perfect, Jazz. This one's got the makings of a steamy, spooky crossover romance that's equal parts ridiculous and innuendo-heavy. Okay. Hothead meets Madhead. The lab in Halloween Town smelled faintly of mothballs, formaldehyde, and bad decisions. Dr. Finkelstein hunched over his workbench, adjusting his own skull lid with a squeaky click. What this place needs is a new experiment, something with fire. As if summoned by the word, a puff of blue flame ignited in the corner. Out strutted Hades, lord of the underworld, with his toga swaying sassily and his flaming hair flickering like a neon nightclub sign. Fire, babe, you rang? Hades smirked, finger guns blazing with tiny sparks. Dr. Finkelstein wheeled round, mouth agape. Oh my, you're radiant. His brain dome popped open with excitement, exposing the throbbing pink noggin inside. Yeah, I get that a lot, Hades quipped, sauntering closer, smoke curling around him like a sultry boa. But you're like a sexy egg timer on wheels. I dig the aesthetic. The doctor wheezed a laugh, fanning himself with a skeletal hand. You think I'm attractive? Hades leaned in, flames casting wicked shadows on the jars of eyeballs lining the shelves. Baby, you're exciting. "Ooh, you devil!" Finkelstein gasped, clutching his lab coat. "Say more!" "Look at you," Hades drawled, circling the wheelchair like a cat. "Brains literally on display. That's confidence, hotshot. And I like a man who's not afraid to crack open his skull and his heart." Finkelstein giggled, his chair squeaking as he spun to follow Hades' every move. "Oh, my circuits, my bolts are quivering." Hades snapped his fingers, and the torches flared. "And don't even get me started on those tiny little hands of yours. Delicate, precise, and creepy in a way that just does it for me." The doctor swooned, skull lid slamming shut from the sheer drama. I can't take this heat." "Baby," Hades purred, hair flaring hotter. "I am the heat. The air sizzled with steamy tension, jars of frogs croaking like a choir of approval. Even Igor, or Igor, however you want to pronounce it, the assistant peeked in, then immediately shuffled out, muttering, "No, not dealing with that tonight." Hades twirled his cloak, dipping dramatically. "So, Doc, what do you say? You, me, a little mad science, a little hellfire, maybe a night of experiments that'll leave the lab smoking." Dr. Finkelstein wheeled closer, eyes wide. Wait, what? Oh, I thought Hades was holding on to Finkelstein. Well, whatever. So he wheeled over, eyes wide. "Oh, you wicked, wicked god. I say yes." And as Hades scooped the doctor's wheelchair up like a ballroom partner, the lab lights flickered, sparks flew, and Halloween Town whispered in unison. "That's not what we expected, but we support it." Well, I'm glad they support it. Well, okay, yes, I guess this one still counts as a horror one. Excellent. What's your favorite scary movie? Oh, so the title gives away both characters. It was a dark and stormy night in Springfield. The lights flickered in the mansion as Mr. Burns sat alone in his study, sipping a martini that tasted faintly of mothballs and regret. Smithers had gone home early, leaving Burns to his own dusty fantasies. Suddenly, the phone rang. Burns picked up the receiver with his bony hand. "Ahoy, hoy, yes? Who dares disturb my plotting?" A low, distorted voice purred through the line. "What's your favorite scary movie?" Burns adjusted his robe, thin as spiderwebs. "Scary? Pah! The only thing frightening is my cholesterol." I can't do a Mr. Burns voice, so I'm not even going to try. From behind the curtains, a tall figure stepped out, cloaked, masked, Ghostface. Knife gleaming like moonlight on temptation. Burns nearly spilled his martini. "Sweet Enron, who let you in?" Ghostface tilted his head, voice dripping through the mask. "You're rich, powerful, vulnerable, the perfect victim." Burns narrowed his eyes, lips curling into a sinister grin. "Victim? My dear boy, I haven't been vulnerable since 1912, and even then it was only a particularly steamy game of croquet. Croquet. And my brain wanted to say crochet, but I was like, it's not crochet. The masked figure moved closer, knife glistening, but instead of fear, Burns leaned back in his chair, crossing his spindly legs. Such presence, Burns purred. That mask, so expressionless, so domineering. Excellent. Ghostface hesitated. Was this old man flirting? I usually stab people at this part. The voice stammered. Burns wagged his finger. No. Anyone can stab, but it takes a true artist to threaten seductively. He steepled his fingers. Do go on. I find your menacing tone invigorating. Ghostface's knife lowered ever so slightly. You like this? I like how Ghostface is like, what's happening? Burns licked his thin lips. Oh, I adore it. In fact, he stood creaking, trembling, but undeniably charged. I find myself strangely aroused. Ghostface's mask reflected the lightning outside as he tilted his head again, confused yet oddly flattered. You're a freaky old man. And you, Burns whispered, leaning close enough to smell the polyester of the cloak, are the knife-wielding phantom of my dreams. Ghostface's grip on the knife tightened, though not in violence, more in anticipation. The storm raged, the mansion lights flickered. Somewhere, Smithers paused mid-sip of warm milk at home and shivered violently, whispering, "He's up to something." And as Burns pressed his paper-thin hand against Ghostface's chest, he murmured, "Stab me with passion, won't you?" Ghostface exhaled into the mask. "Man, this is the weirdest night of my life." And yet, he didn't leave. And that's how it ends. Well, I will leave it there for now then. I hope you enjoyed that little, story. Multiple stories, in fact. And I hope your corpse didn't get a boner. I can say boner because that kind of goes along with the whole vibe of Halloween, you know, bones, boner. Anyway, you did it. Okay, bye-bye.